Hello everyone. Now, this is a video that has been a long overdue topic that I feel I need to discuss. This is something I've been wanting to talk to for a while now, and it's the drop in quality of Schleich. Now, of course, this is my own personal opinion. This isn't a hate video on Schleich. This isn't me discriminating them, but it's rather my insights as a collector, and maybe if Schleich actually sees this, constructive criticism of the recent models. So please don't go in the comments saying things like, well, I like the new models, or stop hating on Schleich. They really try their best. First of all, it's fine if you like the new Schleich. There's nothing wrong with that. I collect them myself. And second, no, they don't try their best. This is all my own opinion, not meant to offend anyone. Now, a lot of fellow Schleich collectors can agree with me when I say that the newer Schleich models aren't the best. By the new Schleich models, I don't mean all of them, just most of them. We collectors prefer the older models. They have more love and creative liberties put into them, unlike the new Schleich models where they just look plain lazy, like they were done half-assed. Model to model that Schleich releases, they still lower the quality. As to why I say this, I need to go into a spiral. First of all, the paint is just not for me. It looks very bad. I'm seeing this as a customizer who has ample experience in painting. The paint job just looks very rushed, with little care put into it, and with markings that just don't look like they make any sense without looking natural realistic at all. The colors they use are very flat, and the blending isn't the best. Another great factor is the proportions and poses that are used. Accuracy should be a company's number one priority when it comes to developing collector items. The poses aren't as unique as they used to be. Instead, newer models are either in walking positions or stiff, standing poses. The posture is also very incorrect when it comes to realism, again, with very stiff positions, taking away from the realistic factor. Don't even get me started on the proportions. A few I've seen are either very long, uncanny, rounded, or blocky. These are very obvious flaws that Schleich puts into their new models, and a lot of collectors aren't too happy with them. Something else that I've noticed is the drop in overall quality, not only in the paint and proportions, but the plastic as well. The newer models just feel so cheaply made next to the older models. The scale is something else I have a problem with. Clearly the newer models, such as the dogs, are much smaller than the older dogs. Why I think they're this small is mostly the fact Schleich is trying to scale them with the Schleich humans and horses. Now, this can be beneficial for the equestrian collectors out there, but my point still stands, and I'm sure everyone can agree with that. Not to mention, if Schleich releases a new model, they release it in an overpriced playset just to make a quick buck, as well as re-releasing already existing models with terrible paint jobs and calling it a day. They even release these in sets with new models rather than just being more unique and making a new set with all new models. It's clear that Schleich is getting lazy and just wants money from collectors, and they know people will still buy them. Honestly, I wouldn't tell if I'd be disappointed or joyful if Schleich re-released a retired model and put a bad paint job on it and called it new, as I can just paint it over better to my liking. Please don't do that, Schleich. It's a very bad idea. Don't jinx me if it happens. The vital issue here is the massive stump in detail. Schleich models used to be so heavily detailed and look almost exactly like the real thing. Like this lion, it looks absolutely perfect. The detail spares no expense, looking just like a real lion. However, for this new lion, it looks straight up brought from a children's book. We had shading details, dry brush, and airbrush detail, and different kinds of highlights and much more definition. Something else that bothers me immensely is the stock photos. They look straight up photoshopped. The new Schleich of the stock photos look nothing like the actual product. It's like all the effort was put into the stock photos other than the actual thing they're selling. Stock photos show you a very neat and promising figure until you buy it and see what it actually looks like. Okay, maybe not all of them. The thing is, Schleich is mainly targeted and marketed towards children for the obvious reason that they're plastic toys. That is another topic I want to get into, but maybe another video. Kids would be oblivious and obviously wouldn't be picky to the models they get. A good majority of the people who buy Schleich are actual collectors who have collected for a very long time. They collect, sculpt, and paint with these figures, and they notice these changes being collectors and having experience. But the clear truth is that these are toys made for children, and are therefore targeted towards children. Not just in the Schleich community, there are many other collectors out there who collect toys from their favorite brand, franchise, etc., and have similar problems with the demographic. However, that is no excuse. Collectors are widely known and are just about everywhere. Schleich even knows this. They know of the Schleich community. In my opinion, collectors should be considered when making products such as this, because there are a wide number of collectors who spend their money on these and are most likely to give companies their sales. There are a lot of companies out there who also make figures similar to Schleich, who couldn't even be compared to how great Schleich was back in the day. But now they're better than Schleich. They have what Schleich doesn't, which is fan service. They actually consider their brand and quality and how people will interpret their products. They make products people actually like and prefer widely over Schleich, such as the Safari LTD Great Dane. Side by side with the Schleich, there is simply no contest as to which is better. My suggestion is that Schleich could go back to what they were doing before. No, not re-releasing already existing models, but making the models detailed with high definition, better paint jobs, and more creative representation. But I'm not a toy manufacturer, I'm not an expert when it comes to that stuff. That's just my own suggestion. As for the collectors like myself, well, I suggest putting your word out there what you think of the new Schleich. Again, we all have our own opinion, but this is a topic that should be widely put out in the Schleich community. Anyway, that's the end of my rant. Do you guys think Schleich can dig themselves out of this rabbit hole? Tell me what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!